a good pair of secateurs. I can't recommend this enough. The most important thing is sharp secateurs. Now, I don't have a sponsorship from anybody for secateurs. I recommend these freely. I bought them myself, retail. These are Felcos. What I use is Felco number 7, which has a rotating handle. The rotating handle, my wife doesn't cope with. It takes some getting used to. It takes about 1/3 of the pressure out of cutting. And from looking behind, you can see we've got lots of rose bushes. We have about 500 rose bushes in the ground. So pruning them takes some effort, and I like to reduce that as much as possible. It also gives me a bit more strength to cut through thicker stems. Traditional secateurs, what my wife has is a simple set that doesn't have the rotating handle. These are also Felcos. They're a number 6, which is a straightforward set. I think Felco number 2 is the most common. You can buy those at any garden centre or home improvement store, but you can buy other brands. I've had these for close to 10 years, the same pair. I've never replaced the blade. I just sharpen them and they just work. The other things to buy or to have are a good pair of loppers. When you get to these thick canes down here, you either want to use loppers, and you can buy loppers with a telescopic handle, and that gives you more leverage and gives you a bit more strength for cutting those thick branches. And also a pruning saw. You can see this one's a bit rough and a bit poorly looked after. We don't use the pruning saw too much here. Some really thick branches that you can't cut easily will be more easily cut with a pruning saw, or if you have a little bit less strength in your hands or your arms, you might prefer a saw to loppers because it's easy to use. So cut with the blade facing downwards. Now on the secateurs, you'll see on the secateurs there's an anvil part and a blade part. The anvil is just flat, that the blade cuts and bypasses away. I don't like the secateurs that cut into an anvil because it crushes the stem. So the thing with a bypass secateur like this, the knife goes past, cuts smoothly, and it gives you a very clean cut. So what happens, you need to cut with that blade on the bottom side of the cut. The reason for that is this anvil will bruise the stem where it pushes against it. So if we cut this way, you're bruising the stem that's left behind on the bush, and that can give you an opportunity for disease to enter the bush. So the concept is cut with the blade facing down. That's a simple rule. It's not critical if you forget to do it, or if you're in a position where your hand doesn't get right. Don't worry too much about it. But so what we've said is, don't worry about outward facing buds, don't worry too much about the distance. If in doubt, just 1/4 of an inch, half a centimetre. But you know, ideally the thickness of the stem. If you're on a really thick stem, you just need that little bit extra amount. But don't worry too much.